appreciate the fact that you help young men with the necessary tools that all of them need. But one of your books is called Unlocking the Genius of the Black Male Mind. Like, give me just a synopsis or your opinion, really briefly, on like the first step to getting that going.
Well, I tell people the first step is beginning to counteract negative stereotypes in the media. That is the first thing I talk about. I opened the book talking about if we're going to unlock the genius, we have to figure out ways to counteract negative stereotypes of the black male image in the media, because that is the strongest, one of the strongest forces that we come up against when dealing with the mentality of black malehood. What they're seeing in the media. Man, listen, I don't even think we think about this. We are the only group of people that have our demise played on the radio 24 hours a day. 24, think about that. 24 hours a day, you can cut on any urban radio station and hear black men talking about killing other black men. No other group would allow that to happen. No Jewish home, no Mexican home, no Chinese home, only us.
Yep.
So we're starting out at a deficit, because if we're trying to pump positivity into them for 4 hours a week, but they hearing that garbage 40 hours a week, we losing, right? And I'm not here on no crusade against hip hop. I love hip hop, but you know what I'm saying. Some of it is to a detriment, right?
Yes.
Some of it is really positive and conscious. We know that, but some of it is to our detriment. And so we're starting out at a deficit, trying to overcome that to even get their minds right. That if I got a problem with you, let's do conflict resolution. Let's not instantly run to the car and grab a gun because you owe me $5, right? And that's how most of this stuff starts, man. Somebody dead. Now the other young man going to prison for 40 years. You just got a 2-for-1, right?
Yep.
And so we have to counteract negative stereotypes of the black male image in the media. And we do that by presenting positive images. So when I say counteract, I simply mean for every negative you put up, I'm going to put up a positive. For every drug dealer you put up, I'm going to show you somebody that's a young black scientist, a young black podcaster that's doing great things, a young black YouTuber that just made $1 million using his voice. I'm going to show you a young black doctor, a lawyer, engineer, the guy up the street that started an electrician business that's doing well. And I like to bring it home. I like to show them kids their age that have started businesses that are now doing well, making $1 million. And even if they're not making $1 million, I want to show you that 13-year-old that started something positive that's now changing his community. Because now you can say, oh, he's 13 like me. Right? So it's not somebody, I'm not showing you all the time somebody 40 or 50, because in your mind, you're going to say, oh, they should be successful. They've been here 50 years. No, what if I show you 12? What if I show you the 12-year-old that's doing something positive, right? So now you don't have any excuses, because now I'm showing you somebody your age making a difference in the world. And so that's how we begin to counteract those negative stereotypes through our books, through our images, through our posters that we put on our classroom walls. It has to be a reflection of positivity daily, constantly. You know, that's why I encourage young men to read, man. Read. No matter what school I go into, man, I encourage them to read, man. You will be surprised, man, the places we go. Man, 17-year-old boys reading on a second grade reading level.
Damn.
Yeah, can't read, bro. Can't read.
Damn.
And then that's another problem, because a lot of times we wonder why those parents aren't coming to school, man. Studies are now being done to show a lot of times the parents can't read. So they don't come. They don't come to the school because it's intimidating.
And they're embarrassed.
Yeah, that school building reminds them of the fact they can't read. And so they're not gonna come up here because that is the place, that's a sensitive place for them, right? And so man, we just got a myriad of issues, brother. I mean we operate from a deficit. For real.
Definitely, definitely. It's funny you say that because I was reading a article that was referencing the fact that if like 7 out of 20 black prisoners or something are illiterate. I think the number was even higher than that. They linked illiteracy to the crimes that were being committed. You know what I mean? And it's good you're talking about reading. The same thing I've tried to speak to my sons about throughout the years, because I'm aware that growing up in the inner city, I remember guys that were extremely violent, and I can think back now. I think part of their violence was based on the fact that they couldn't articulate themselves, was based
Yep.
on the fact that they didn't really have the words necessary to communicate with somebody what they wanted to say. So the next best thing was to be violent with them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So reading and taking that kind of stuff serious is definitely the key. And like I was saying a little earlier, we have generations of people in our family who couldn't read. And like they always say, you want to hide stuff from a black person, put it in a book. Well, we call that funny, but I'll be honest, most of the people I know don't read. Not all, but most of the people I know, I will give them a book or a certain type of novel or something, and they don't see the quality in it. You know what I mean? And in
Yeah.
my opinion, like even reading just a novel, I've read books that are almost better than any movie that I've seen
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm visualizing everything in my head. You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean? It's a whole different experience, and I think everybody should get in tune with it, especially people in our community. Now, another one of